Hi, my name is J.I.V. Lee, also known as Nailfertiti on Instagram @_Nailfertiti. So today I'm doing a pink lipstick French tip set with a lot of bling and a lot of extraness. So I'm starting by using a cuticle pusher to push back my cuticles and then a cuticle nipper to cut my cuticles to prevent the nails from lifting. Then I use a 100 grit zebra sanding band to rough up the surface of my nails. And I'm doing this very lightly so I don't damage my nail bed in the process. The sanding bands can be found on Amazon. I'm using extra long square tips with no C-curve, also found on Amazon. Because I was running out of the nail tip sizes that fit my nail bed perfectly, I ended up using bigger nail tips and used the cuticle nipper to cut them down to size so they fit sidewall to sidewall on my nail. Once I cut them down to size, here I am just gluing the nail tips down to my nail. I put my hand down flat on the table so I can make sure that the nail tips are straight. I found this hack on Instagram where you use a nail form to cut the nail tips to your desired length. So this just ensures that the nails are all going to be the same length. And the brand of the nail forms is Venus Professional, and I found them on Amazon. Because I wanted lipstick shape, I'm now going in with my curved scissors and cutting the ends diagonally. Now I'm cutting the sides of the nail tips so they better fit the sidewalls of my nails. Once I finish cutting the sides of the nail tips, I go in with my 100 grit nail file and perfect the shape. And I also use the nail file to blend the nail tip into the natural nail. Here are the shaped and blended nail tips. For my nail prep, I go in with Mia Secret Dehydrator and Primer, and I also use Young Nails Protein Bond. I go in with 2 layers of the dehydrator, 1 layer of the primer, and then before I add the acrylic to each nail, I use an extra layer of the protein bond because for me, I feel like that just prevents lifting better. So for the smile line, I'm using Valentino Nails Cover Powder in the color Bubblegum. My acrylic brush is a size 14 brush from Glitter Planet. So here I am going in with the protein bond one more time before I apply the powder to my nails. So as I lay my first bead, I make sure to use the tip of the brush to form the shape of the smile line for my French tips. So for my cuticle bead, I place it in the center of the nail, then use the tip of the brush to push it towards the corners of the cuticle so it's flush with the cuticle. So here I am just repeating the process of the protein bond and the acrylic powder so I can create the smile lines for the rest of my nails. As the nails are curing, I'm noticing that my nails are kind of burning. So after I finish the application of the smile line, I go in with alcohol to spray my nails in order to prevent that burning sensation. Here are the finished smile lines. And here they are filed. To get the dust off my nails, I use these alcohol prep pads that I found from Dollar Tree. They say lint-free, but they're not totally lint-free, to be honest. So Saviland sent me a couple of sample size acrylics to try, and I'm using their color Red Plum. So before I apply the acrylic to the nail tips, I dip my brush in monomer so then the acrylic can slide down the nail better. As I'm using the acrylic, I really do like the consistency of this acrylic. I feel like it doesn't cure too quickly, so it's good for beginners and if you're using it for really long nails like mine. You do have to make sure you're wiping your brush off frequently so then the acrylic doesn't get stuck in your brush. I'm making sure to pat the sides of the nail constantly so then the nail doesn't lose its shape as I'm applying the acrylic. So because I wasn't using my own advice, the acrylic did get stuck in my brush. So when this happens, your brush soak in monomer and add a little bit of acetone to it so the acrylic can dissolve out of the hairs of the brush. And you should let it soak for about 10 minutes or so. And here I am just repeating the process on the rest of my nails. So as I'm using the acrylic, I'm getting a better hang of the acrylic and a better understanding of the monomer to powder ratio that I should be using to pick up the beads that I want to pick up for this specific acrylic. So I was able to use 2 beads to fill in the French tip versus the 4 or 5 that I used on my thumb. And the acrylic wasn't getting stuck in my nail brush. The monomer to powder ratio is different depending on which acrylic you're using because unfortunately each acrylic powder is not created the same. The powders just vary from brand to brand. So as I'm working, I try to adapt to the powder that I'm using. On the pinky, I had a little bit of boating, So I wanted to fill the curved area so the application can be flat. So here I slowed it down so you can see how I was able to fill in the curved area. So basically I filled the curved area by focusing the acrylic bead in the curved part. Here is my finished application of my French tips. So now I'm going in with my 5-in-1 Pana drill bit that can be found on Amazon. For French tips, first I focus on exposing the smile line from under the light pink acrylic. Then I go to the end of the nail and file kind of horizontally to thin out the tip because I just like my nails thinner at the tip. Then I go across the cuticle area, make sure no acrylic is touching my cuticles. Then I just use the rest of the time to really like smooth out the surface of my nail. And here I am just repeating the process on the rest of my nail. This dust collector I also found on Amazon. It's like a little cheap $30 one, so it doesn't collect the dust probably as well as a more expensive one would, but it does a job. And the nail drill that I'm using is from Melody Susie. It's a cordless nail drill. I believe the name of the nail drill is called Scamander. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Now I'm using my 80/100 grit nail file again to perfect the shape of my nails. I use the 80 grit side to get the sides of my nails, and then I use the 100 grit as a buffer to smooth the surface of my nails. Then after I've buffed, I go again with the 80 grit and straighten out the tip of the nails so the lipstick is sharp. And as I'm filing, I make sure to file underneath the nail as well. As you can see here, I'm looking at the nail from the side so I can make sure there's no dips in the nail and that the surface is smooth. And I'm also making sure that the apex is exactly where and how I want it. Here are my nails filed and buffed. For my birthday, my sister gifted me this airbrush off of Amazon, and at this point I didn't know how I wanted to use the airbrush, but I just knew that I wanted to use it for the set. And the airbrush was actually pretty easy to use. While I was testing it, I realized that you need to mix the gel polish with acetone and make sure it's very watery so the airbrush actually like flows out instead of sputters out. So I found these Playboy bunny stickers that I honestly forgot I even bought. So at this point, I was starting to get ideas of like a Y2K Playboy bunny set. And here I am just like struggling to get the stickers off my nail. And finally, here's the airbrushed bunny. So at this point, I know that I wanted a really fun, blinged out Y2K inspired set. So here I am just like adding bling for the eyeball of the bunny. And mainly what I'm using are AB crystal, crystal clear, and hot pink rhinestones for this set. I really wanted to be like extra as hell, so I added hoops to my nails. I decided to add 3 to my pinky, and I'm just using a cuticle drill bit in order to drill the holes for the hoops in my nails. The drill bit can get stuck inside of the holes in the nails, so what I do, as you can see, is like I kind of bounce the drill bit in and out of the hole so it doesn't get stuck until the drill bit is able to go clean through the nail. The hoops and the pliers are both from Michaels. The pliers can be a little bit annoying to work with, honestly, because they are kind of like magnetic, and these are metal hoops. I also wanted to add a bling cherry charm to my pinky, and how I adhere the charms to my nails is by using a small bead of clear acrylic. Then I use my tweezers to remove the excess acrylic from around the charm. I've tried using like 3D gel or like hard gel to adhere charms and like bling to my nails. But personally, I think that clear acrylic works a bit better to adhere the nail to the nail so they really do not move. Then I dip my brush into the monomer, then use the tip of the brush to clean around the charm. And then I also use some super glue while the acrylic is curing around the charm so the charms do not move. For the middle finger, I pretty much just blinged out the nail, and I'm using the super glue to adhere the stones to the nail. For my pointer finger, I started off by gluing a star-shaped kawaii charm to my nail, and then I also added a little rhinestone in the middle of that. And now I'm doing a bling heart under the kawaii charm. And here is the finished set. Thanks so much for watching this tutorial on this pink Y2K inspired full set. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Bye.